Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back, I'm not going anywhere. I'm YouTube famous now. All right, today, there are no flipping of fans. There are no poopy dolls, there are no little funny catchphrases and all of that. I wanted to make a video today about something that is very dear to my heart. And it kind of came out of the video that I made yesterday. So let's just get right into this video. I want this to be an open discussion, an open conversation, which I feel like started on the video that I made yesterday. And you know, one of the things that I said earlier in the summer was that I was committed to every once in a while doing a video that had something to do with, you know, bettering our lives or social action or something like that, because that was important to me, that if I had convictions that I felt like I needed to stand up for, that I would, and I wouldn't back down. And I try to always instill lessons or learning experiences based on my own fouled up experience, okay? In my videos. It's not this thing where I think I know more or I think I'm better than or anything like that. It's based on my own experiences. And so that's really what I want to talk about today. So yesterday I made a video, a drama video, about a certain YouTuber that in a Snapchat while playing a video game had used a derogatory word. Now, I'm specifically not referring to who that person is because I stand behind what I said in that video. It has gone totally crazy on social media. You know, a lot of people in my video said, well, you can't forgive this person, but you forgive this person. I forgive everybody, okay? I think anybody that asks for forgiveness deserves forgiveness. Now, I think that what we need to do after that is to continue to watch their behavior. Forgetting and forgiving are two completely different things, right? So if they repeat that behavior over and over and over again, well, then they're telling you something about their character. And to me, I watch people for their character, not for what comes out of their mouth. Actions speak louder to me than words. But, you know, like for me, it's just not that deep of an issue. Like, okay, so that person made an apology. I accept their apology. It didn't affect me. Personally, I just made a video telling my commentary on it. But what was interesting was what happened as a result of that. And my comment section of my video kind of went a little crazy, honestly. And I was rather surprised the direction that it went in. And I would have to say that there were several, I would say, streams of thought that went through the comment sections. But I'm only going to talk about one today, and that is the whole idea of giving power to words. It's something that I feel very strongly about. It's something that I've experienced in my life. It's something that I've been accused of doing long before I ever got on YouTube, that I give too much power to words and, you know, words don't have that kind of power and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to talk about that. And I want this to be an open discussion. So if you disagree with me, hey, that's fine. We can disagree with each other. We don't have to love or hate each other, or, you know, just because I have a different opinion than you doesn't mean that we can't like each other. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the things that I found funny by doing YouTube in the last year, is that if I put up a video and somebody disagrees with my opinion, they're like, unsubscribed. Okay, because you don't like, so if you had a friend that had a differing opinion than you, then you wouldn't be friends with them anymore. And I'm not talking about a caustic, toxic opinion. I'm talking about just an opinion, right? So I'm getting all of these comments last night. Some of them were very, very supportive. Some of the people were like, hey, I totally feel you. Other people were educational to me and said, you know, like, this is how I feel about it. And I read every comment last night. But the whole idea of giving power to words really struck a chord with me. And really because it has been something that people have said to me over and over and over again. And it was interesting, my best friend and I, we went shopping last night to an outlet mall, so we were like 2 hours away when the comments were coming up. And so as we were walking around, I was kind of reading the comments. So on the drive home, I said to her, I said, do you think that words have power? Because I like to have discussions with people. I like to have intellectual discussions with people. It's a form of intellectual intimacy when you ask somebody their opinion and you respect their opinion, and you have different opinions, but you remain friends and you respect that person even though they might have a different opinion than you. That's called intellectual intimacy. And I love that I have that with my best friend. We have varying degrees of opinions and beliefs and a lot of different things, anything from religion to politics to whatever. And, you know, the fact that we have been able to educate each other and stay grounded and continue to have that friendship, even though we have very differing backgrounds, is awesome to me, right? So we're talking about it, and she goes, I absolutely believe that words have power. And so we got talking about it, and I started thinking about this whole idea of, You know, this isn't the first time in a video that somebody has said in a comment section, stop giving power to words. Words only don't have that much power. Words only have power if you give them to them. Well, I don't agree with that statement. You know, I have worked for years with adolescents who have been in abusive environments. I have worked for years with girls that have been in abusive relationships where they are fat shamed, they are called ugly words on a regular basis, and they're not giving those words power. Those words in the way that they're presented have power. So when you're telling somebody, and those are just two examples, okay? I mean, we could go into, you know, all kinds of systematic oppression in our country that puts people down because of words that they don't ask to have any power from, right? So I think it's interesting when we have this whole idea of and maybe wait till the end of this video before you agree or disagree or comment on it. I'm just asking that, okay? So, you know, I think it's interesting that we have this whole idea that words don't have power, right? And I really got in my head thinking about this because what it really is, I think, is that we're asking somebody to give up their story when we ask them not to give power to a word, right? And it was interesting because I had responded in my video and had said, as a gay man, if we continue using these derogatory words, and you know, somebody on there said, well, my friends and I, we use those derogatory words and whatever, and that's your business, okay? But don't take away my story that those words may have been used towards me in a negative way. Now, if your story is that you're taking those words back, I understand that. That's your story. I don't feel like that is right in my life and in my journey, but everybody has a different journey and everybody has to go a different way, okay? But what you're asking somebody when you're saying don't give power to a word, what you're saying is don't have your story. And everybody's story is important. Everybody's story is vital. I say this on my videos all the time, especially my vlog, that, you know, the award-winning Nigerian author, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, who wrote Americana, okay? She does a whole TED Talks on the power of a story. And the fact that when she was growing up in Nigeria, the only stories that she saw were the stories of blonde-haired, pale-skinned little girls. So when she started writing, she wrote about blonde-haired, pale-skinned little girls because that's all she knew from what she read. She never thought to write her own story. And when she started telling her own story, her power came out, right? So she gave power to her words through her story. We each have a story, some good, some bad. But please don't take away my story by telling me not to give power to my words. And it's not just about specific words, because I really think that what happens is when celebrities or YouTubers or people that we love use a word or they mess up, and people are fallible, okay? And they mess up and they say a word, we say, don't give that word power. And what we're really, tiny claps, and what we're really saying is, I love this person so much, don't give that specific word power. Because words do mean something, and I'm gonna prove it to you. Has anybody ever told you that they loved you? Have you ever heard a child's first words? Have you ever heard somebody say to you, congratulations? Has anyone ever said to you, I like your sweater? Has anyone ever said to you, you're beautiful today? Has anyone ever said to you, I want to stay with you for the rest of my life? Those are all positive things. Likewise, there are words like, you're fired, okay? You're fat. You're ugly. You will never accomplish your dreams. You will never work in the field that you want to work in. You will never get the job. Never, always, rarely. Words mean something. Words have power. And for us to act like that words don't have power means that we have to stop using language completely. Because I want to hear a child's first words. I want to hear congratulations. I want to hear my husband say, I love you, and know that it means something. I want to be able to forgive somebody and for them to know that it means something. Because when I tell somebody, I forgive you, and when somebody says to me, I forgive you, that is life-changing. When I tell people that I am an alcoholic and that I am sober and that I'm an addict and I am sober, those words have power to me. Because that is my entire story for the last 23 years of my life. So for me not to use those specific words, you're asking me to give up my story. So what we're saying when we say don't give power to words is don't give power to that specific word. And if we want to talk about derogatory words, okay, I have been called every derogatory word under the sun about being gay. I heard it for the first time when I was in first grade, and I've heard it ever since, okay? In the comment sections and videos, in gas stations when I open my mouth and somebody hears me talk, when I was going through school, even from teachers, I heard it. So when you tell me don't give those words power, what you're saying is your story doesn't mean anything. And my story means a lot. Because with my story and with the words that I choose to use today, because words that we use are a choice, with the words that I choose to use today, I hope that somebody doesn't have to go through what I went through. I hope maybe the bullied and the bully can learn through love and compassion and forgiveness how to move on. I think forgiveness is a really powerful thing. I think it's really easy for me to get on videos a lot and pass judgment and say, oh, this is what we should do and this is what we should do. There's only been about 1 or 2 YouTubers out there that have ever taken my suggestions based on my own screwed up experience of how I've messed up in life and turned it into something, and it has worked for them, okay? And not because I'm a genius and not because I should jokingly be somebody's PR agent, okay? But because it's common sense. Because it's human nature, and it's the way to act like a right person who has character. And today, that's who I want to be. And me, as a person of character, chooses not to use certain words. So please don't take away my story by saying words don't mean anything. Words only have the power that you give them. Because I love you, and that statement means a lot to me. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.